Yes, that's right, I fell back on my old temptation. I came across a really, really interesting story on Sky News. Teacher jailed for lesbian affair with pupil. A public school mistress has been jailed for 15 months for having a lesbian affair with a 15-year-old pupil. This music teacher admitted 6 counts of sexual activity with a girl between February and July this year. Now, the sex was perfectly consensual. The 15-year-old consented. I think she actually initiated the relationship. But in this country, the age of consent is 16, which means, according to our justice system, the 15-year-old girl doesn't even have the mental capacity that allows her to give consent. According to our jurisdiction, she's not able to comprehend what giving consent means. Now, this allows me to platform an argument that's been bugging me somewhat for a long time, is that what mechanism is it precisely that happens on the girl's 16th birthday that makes her sexually aware and able to give consent and able to have a fully functioning sexual relationship? What is it that happens in that night? But there's also something else. What mechanism is there in an adult's mind to stop them fancying a 16-year-old? What makes a 16-year-old fanciable but a 15-year-old not fanciable or not alluring in any way? It doesn't make sense to me. There is no mechanism that can provide this. And the age of consent is different in every single country in the world. If I 26 miles across the English Channel, if I swim 26 miles across the English Channel and go to France, the age of consent is 15. And according to them, this girl would be able to give consent. She would be able to have a sexual relationship. I don't understand that at all. Now, there are 2 celebrities I want to talk about. One is Dakota Fanning, fantastic actress, 15-year-old, and very attractive. I challenge anyone to go and find a picture of her and say that she's not attractive. A picture of her now at 15. And then look at Miley Cyrus. I think she's 16 now. She's attractive as well. Only a year's difference. So, why is it okay to think Miley Cyrus is attractive at 16, but Dakota Fanning isn't at 15? But it gets even more interesting, because in some areas in the US, the age of consent is 18. So anyone fancying Miley Cyrus there might be considered to be a pedophile or whatever. So, what is it? Why is there so many radically different ages? I'm going to put a picture up at the end showing the age of consent around the world. I've got it from Wikipedia. I assume it's reliable. It ranges from 20 in Tunisia to 9. I can't see what exact country. I mean, 9 is a little disturbing, just a bit. But to me, 15, there's hardly any difference between a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old. I mean, are they seriously trying to say that 15-year-olds aren't sexually aware? I certainly was at 15. I knew girls at 14 who somehow obtained fake ID to sneak into pubs to have sex with older men. It didn't scar them or affect them or anything. In my opinion, in cases like this, there should be a clear distinction between abusive relationships and non-abusive relationships. This was clearly consensual. There was clearly no psychic trauma to the kid. In fact, more psychic trauma has been caused to the adult. This 26-year-old teacher, I'll put a picture of her as well at the end. And but she's now she can't teach ever again, which I think is silly because it doesn't affect her ability to teach at all. Having a relationship with one pupil, it's not as if she's a predator of children and she indiscriminately tries to seduce people. This is a romantic relationship with one person, and she's got to be on the sex offenders register for 10 years. I don't think she's a sex offender. She hasn't offended me. I don't think she's offended the girl. The only thing she's offended is the laws, which are imprecise. They're too imprecise. They need to be rectified. Oh, there's something else as well. The age of consent in the UK is 16. So I'm allowed to have sex with a 16-year-old girl. but I'm not allowed to view a picture of a 16-year-old girl naked. It's illegal. It's classed as child pornography. Now that doesn't make sense either. It used to be in the UK. We have in one of the popular newspapers, The Sun, page 3, and it has a page 3 girl on it with a topless woman. The age for that used to be 16. I mean, there's about 3, I think, that have had their pictures taken topless at 16. What has changed in 30 years to make it now viewed as child pornography? I mean, did these 3 women who were page 3 girls, did it really seriously scar them? Did the preponderance of 16-year-olds on page 3 just turn the nation into a bunch of pedophiles? I don't think it did. I think it's completely silly, and I think Canada has a few good laws with this regarding the age of consent. They have close age exceptions, which means, say, 13, 14 and 15-year-old people. There's an exception with them. There's going to be no prosecution if they want to have sex and have a sexual relationship. And the same goes for, say, if a 15-year-old girl or a 16-year-old girl or boy or whatever has a relationship with a 20-year-old, even though it's technically borders the age of consent, because their ages are so close together, they make an exception for that. Because you can get 20-year-olds, of course, who are very sexually inexperienced, who are sexually immature, and similarly you can get 15-year-olds who are sexually experienced. So it's not an overnight thing, this age of consent. But what the UK is tightening its laws on sex, like, extremely. It's actually illegal for anyone under 16 to even kiss. 2 15-year-olds in this country are not allowed to kiss, not allowed to hug. It was a recent law that's been made in about 2003. Now, the courts say they're not going to prosecute people with this law. So they've got this law, but they're not choosing to prosecute. Now, that makes me very suspicious. That makes me think that this law is here for another reason completely. It makes me think that, say, if they suspect a person of another crime, a young man, say, of another crime, they're going to try and dig shit up on him. And if he's got a girlfriend at 15 and they've caught him snogging her, they can arrest him on that charge, even though there's no evidence for the other crime that he's accused of. I think it's part of a wider war on sexuality, though. This country is going through a major kind of war on sex and all things related to it. I think we're just taking steps backwards with our sex laws. And the last interesting thing is, in the comments section, usually when there's something related to sex like this, usually there's just tons of people bashing the person. And I bet you any money, if this was a man, if this was a 26-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl, everybody would be up in arms going, "Oh, hang him, he's a dirty paedophile, he's a pervert, he's a predator." But the fact is, it's a woman, and everybody seems to be defending her. Now tell me, is this because she's a woman and not a man, or what? Here is Miley Cyrus. Clearly, if you fancy her, then you are normal. Here's Dakota Fanning. Clearly, if you fancy her, you are an evil, raping pedophile. Here is the age of consent for the world, and you can see that there is obviously an intrinsic age of consent. There is obviously an objective morality here, and there is no problem at all. And here is the teacher. Now, if that was my teacher and I was 15 and I had a sexual relationship with her, I would be loving it.